today we're going to take a look at the expense report management within NetSuite. Let's say, for example, I want to expense a meal with a client. Well, I can do that easily using a browser on my computer. As you can see here, I've got the expense report document open. I can enter the details here, and that's perfectly fine. Let's say I'm at the office, I want to do that. But what if I'm on the road and I want to enter that expense on the fly? I can easily do that on my mobile app on my phone. And I can do that in real time. I can be at the restaurant, take a photo of the receipt, upload it to NetSuite, and my accounting department will actually receive a notification in real time notifying them that, hey, Gerwyn's entered an expense and it needs to be approved or rejected. So let's take a look at how we would do this on the mobile app. All right, let's get to it. Alright, so as you can see, I've got my mobile app here for NetSuite, and I can rotate my phone, for example, right, and I can get a nice landscape view. I can scroll to, you can see all the different dashboards I've got here. Again, I can turn my phone the other way and I can get a portrait view as well. I can change the home screen, for example. Maybe I want to see a different dashboard, like my dashboard. And as you can see here under my expenses, I've got 4 expense reports here, a couple purchase orders to approve. I've got an expense that's already in progress, just waiting for that one to be approved by the accounting department. And I can also click on here to add an expense. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's add an expense. So let's say, for example, like I said, I'm having a meal with a client, and what I want to do is enter my expense for, let's say it's $180. Maybe it's USD. I was on the road. I'm going to log it under business meals and entertainment. I'll put a little memo here. Dinner with, oops. Just move this out of the way here. Dinner with client. Okay. And if I want, I can pick a file. So if you look at the top right over here, I can pick a file if I have maybe a receipt saved to my phone, or I can take a photo in real time, which is really convenient. So let me go ahead and do that. I have a bogus receipt here. I'll just take a photo. And I'm going to say, okay, it looks good. And as you can see on the top left there, the photo has been, allocated to this expense. And now I'm just going to create an expense report for that particular expense that I just created here. So as you can see here, I'm just uploading the details. And here it gives you, a little summary here. And as you can see, it's automatically allocated the expense account here to 6440 expenses, general administration expenses. But I can also change that as well. Let's say, for example, I want to change this to a different expense. I can do that as well. But it looks good, so I'm just going to keep it there. If I want to allocate this to a department, maybe my sales department, I can do that as well. Now, for example, if this is billable and I want to allocate it to a certain customer and charge them, I can certainly do that. So I can go to customer here, and if I want, I can type in the customer name, and let's say I want to allocate it to Hone MC, and I can also check the box that says billable. You can also see down below it says attach file. That's the basically the file that of the photo that we just took. And if I want, I can charge it to my corporate credit card if I had one on file, but in this case I don't. So far everything looks good. I'm just going to click on the add button at the top here. Okay, so everything looks good. And now that I've added this expense, like I said, it's going to go to my accounting department in real time, and they will be able to approve it. Actually, let's give this a little bit of an edit here. I'm just going to put a little memo here. It says, I'm just going to put meal, I'm going to be more specific, meal with Hone MC, and I'm just going to put in brackets billable. It's always nice to have a nice detailed memo or summary. Okay. I'll go again, location. If I want, I can allocate this to a certain location. So for example, maybe Toronto if I wanted to. And you can, as you see here, the approval, it's got to go to my supervisor. In this case, it's going to be the controller. So everything looks good. I'm just going to go ahead and save this here. And what we'll do now is we'll log in as the controller in NetSuite. Alright, so I'm logged in as the controller, Claire, in the NetSuite. And I am going to go to my reminders portlet over here. And as you can see down here under expense reports to approve, there's two. So I can click on that. And the second row here that you see, meal with HoneMC, billable. Remember that was the one we just created on our mobile device. Now if I want, I can drill into it. I can open it up and look at the particulars, right? I can see, the amount, I can see the customer, as well as, the file of the actual receipt that we just took, or the picture of the receipt we just took. Now, if I want, I can approve, that one at a time, or I can approve multiple just by going here and checking on these boxes, right? And then clicking on save. But for now, we're just going to approve that one that we just created. I'm going to click on save. And it's just going to fall off the list here. And now we know what's going to happen is there's actually some emails that are going on behind the scenes as well. I forgot to mention that NetSuite will send an email to the approvee as well as the approver, notifying them that an expense has been submitted, it needs to be approved. Let's actually take a look at that. Let's go into my Outlook here. And if I go into here, for example, you can see it's been approved by Claire Begonia, our controller. So again, this just is another example of how NetSuite really streamlines the process for expense management, making it super easy. All right, hope you enjoyed this video. We'll catch you on the next one.